So, first things first, I need to ensure that I create what I briefed I was going to create. So this is my finalized script, and I'm just going to go by this. So it starts off with the waves of the sea, seagulls and the crashing waves, that sort of thing. And then it's kind of like Julius Caesar approaches to the beach, and his voice bellows a quote. So one of the quotes from his channel, and I've recorded, um, I love the name of honor more than I fear death. So I'm going to get that quote now. So it'll be in this voiceover section here. Right, let's go find that now. Let's mute all these other tracks so I get just the voiceover.
During 54 BC, Julius Caesar and the Roman Empire landed at Pegwell Bay in Kent. Now, over 2,000 years on, remains of this invasion are available to see at the bay. This all-new Caesar Museum has remains of shields, swords, and many other artifacts for you to come and see. With free admission every weekday from 9 to 5, why not take a trip back in time? He came, he saw, he conquered.
So that was the ending voiceover that I want. So I'm going to cut this now, so I know that this is the voiceover that I want to use later on. But I'm going to go now and trim up this voiceover here. So let's just get just about here. Actually, a little bit further, just because we need room for the breath. Get rid of that.
I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
Sounds quite nice.
Fight,
Get rid of that little gap in there.
fight for honor. England is ours.
That's quite a nice one too.
Fight.
Get rid of this gap again.
I came, I saw, I conquered.
There we go. That should be all of them. Let's just double check. Yeah, so let's get rid of all these. Zoom out a bit, not that much. So this is the main chunk of the voiceover for the second half, so I'm just going to drag this over here and save that for later. So these are the quotes that I need to actually have in the battle sequence. So let's bring these across a bit. Let's unmute the battle music, and I did a quick fade up here just so the volume just gradually increases, but I'm going to have it start off with the sound effects so it's more personal instead of just using the battle music. So let's zoom in a bit more, get to this. There we go, right. So let's see here, let's hear how this starts. Drag this back out. So I feel like a quote would probably be needed much further in because it's kind of like building up. Quite like this spot here, exactly here. So I'm going to make a quick trim here just so I'm all where I want the voiceover to be.
I love the name of honor more than I fear death. Fight for honor. England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Right, so I like this one, but I think these are way too close. So I'm going to move these along a bit. Right. Gradually bring in all these sound elements now as well. So let's bring these in. So I'm going to start with the wind and the marching. So let's drag this and unmute this track. This is still a bit too loud, so I'll turn this down and turn the wind up. It's still too loud compared to the wind, so I'm going to turn this right down. And again, it's still, I don't know why, because it's too loud up here. Let's bring that right down. There you go. Let's hear this, because I'm not too sure what this wind sounded like. I think this one sounds better. Yeah. I need more wind as well, not just that one. So I'll add another wind track, then I'll layer some wind. So I call that wind 2. Layer this one underneath. Turn these down a bit. Then I'll turn this one right up. I'll add another wind track again. So wind 3. Drag this one under here. And then we'll turn the volume right up on this one. Again, I think the music's too loud in comparison to all the other elements. So let's turn that down. Wind. Let's turn this one right up. But I do want to kind of fade in, so right, so I like this, but I feel again this is too quiet. I need to increase the volume. So to increase the volume, let's do it here. So that's as loud as this track will go. Unless I have a distorted track and I don't really want to affect the audio, so I'm going to have to just turn everything else down. So let's bring this down here.
I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
Right, so at the moment it sounds quite bland, but that's because I still got to add other elements like the marching, swords, seagulls, that sort of thing. So I'm going to go add that now. Let's just make sure this is right, because actually I want this at the beginning of the sequence, just before the music comes in. So, but I want, I don't know, I feel like this fading needs to be a bit quicker. Yep, that's quite nice. So I'm going to duplicate these tracks now, extend them a bit. So Control C, ooh, Control V. I'll just try and sync them up a bit more. Wait a second. There you go. And Control C. Click on this track, so I want to paste it onto this track. And then, oh, what's happened there? Oh yes, that's why I need to bring this here. Turn that off. So I don't know why that's on. Control C. Make sure I'm on this track. Control V. That's kind of like how I wanted to kind of like layer out a bit. So let's just zoom out a little bit more than that. There we go. So let's see how this sounds. Right, so I feel like the audio needs to still get a bit louder here, so let's tweak this again. Double tap there, and then kind of bring it up again. But this time it's more gradual.
I love the name of honor more than I fear.
I think that's still a bit too loud, so we'll turn that down again. See how this sounds. Yeah.
I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I like that. So let's add some more sound elements to the sequence. So let's bring these back a bit. Let's start with the marching. So let's unmute this track. I prefer when it's in sync, because at the beginning, if you listen, it's not in sync. Now it's in sync. So I'll cut it here. Right. I think I need to increase the audio on it, because I don't think it's that loud. I'm not too sure. Let's have a quick listen. Where? Yeah, see, it's not too loud. So let's increase this audio right up. Drag this up. Oh, it's a little bit too loud, so I'll bring it down a bit.
I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
Okay, so there's some laughing in this track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of mask it with some like battle cries, that sort of thing. So let's go to the battle cries now. Now that this track is how I want it to be. Here they are, right. So let's drag these in a bit. And then let's unmute them as well. Sorry. Right, so
Fight for honor. England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
so I like the way this ends with the voiceover, so I'm going to cut it here. Then kind of have it like fade out as well. So let's do this. Let's see how this sounds.
England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Right, yeah, I like how that sounds for the music. I quite like that voiceover. So let's add this a bit closer. Let's see how this sounds. Oh,
Fight for honor. England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
right, so the battle cries here, again, a bit too loud. So let's get rid of this one and have it fade out. So you kind of want it to end about here. So let's cut that and then go to the audio levels. Press this, sorry. There you go. Oh, wait. Sorry about that. So the battle cries about here. And drag this down. Just completely fade it out. Let's see how this one.
England is ours. Honor. England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Yeah, I like that. So
Honor. England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
yeah, I like that. So let's zoom in again. I do think the it's because the violins at the end of this track. I think it affects it a bit too much. So let's push it back a bit.
England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered. Honor. England is.
This is, I don't know why it's done this. There we go. There we go.
Fight for honor. England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Yes, I like how that ends. I quite like that. So all I need to kind of really do now is add these elements here. So I'm not too sure how I feel about the seagulls. I think they're a bit much. So I'm going to have them quite subtle. So let's see. See how the horses sound like
I love
first.
the name of honor more than I fear death. Fight for honor, England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
So I like how these the wind kind of ends here. So I'm going to cut these down and then select all this. Bye. Get rid of that one as well. Might as well line them all up. Get rid of that and then fade them all out. Is it? Wait, let me just see if there's a way to. No, okay, right. So yeah, I'll just fade them all out the same way. So here. There you go. Just set them all to fade out. Let's see how this sounds. Zoom out a bit more. So the voiceover will clearly be here, but the wind element I'd like to like continue through.
Fight for honor, England is ours.
What happened there? Let's see.
Fight for honor, England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Yeah, I quite like that. That's quite nice. So it's just the sword fighting now, the seagulls, and then the actual commercial part of the advert. So the voiceover, the advertising of what's actually being, what's going to happen in the museum and that. So let's finalize these elements. So the sword fighting. Now again, there's someone laughing. I think the battle cry. So I can try and locate that. Yeah, just there. So I'm going to try and mask it with the swords. Let's see. These elements, this sword fighting is way too loud, so I'll turn that down. Right, let's start from the beginning, see what it sounds like.
I love the name of honor more than I fear death. Fight for honor, England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Okay, so sword fighting needs to be a bit longer. Luckily, I've got this, so let's drag this across a bit. Kind of about here. Actually, wait, that's more of a layering sound. So, oh, okay. Here we go.
I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
Okay, so just after this voiceover, I'll play these.
Love the name of honor more than I fear death. Fight for honor, England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
Right, so this is the last track I have. This is Seagulls. I think it's not too bad. Let's have a listen. I think this one's a bit too much, so I'm going to duplicate these two.
I love the name of honor more than I fear death. Fight for honor. England is ours. I came, I saw, I conquered.
I love the way that sounds. So I think that's kind of my final piece. I'm going to quickly save this now. So I like how this sounds. So save project as Pegwell Bay Museum. Save it to desktop, just so I can find it quickly. Right, so now all I have to do is do this in a voiceover, and then I'm done. So let's unmute this. Split this here, bring it across a bit.
During 54 BC, Julius Caesar and the Roman Empire landed
Now I think this is way too upbeat for.
at Pegwell Bay.
I want some.
Now, over 2,000 years on,
I came, I saw, I conquered.
during 54 BC, Julius Caesar and the Roman Empire landed at Pegwell Bay in Kent. Now, over 2,000 years on, remains of this invasion are available to see at the bay. This all-new Caesar Museum has remains of shields, swords, and many other artifacts for you to come and see. With free admission every weekday from 9 to 5, why not take a trip back in time? He came, he saw, he conquered.
Great, so I think that's my final finished piece. So I'm going to export this now, ready to be uploaded. So file, save, export. Export as an audio file. Do it to desktop. Wait. Here you go. So save as, final, recording. Let's just save it to the desktop. Okay.